City of Bend utility crews are regularly checking water mains and connections to businesses and residents for leaks to make sure that we're most efficiently managing our water resources.
Water conservation is important to the City of Bend, and it really shows up in a variety of ways. One of those is through leak detection of our supply side water distribution infrastructure. Oregon Water Resource Department requires that all water utilities have a series of water conservation benchmarks geared around things like leak detection. And in the City of Bend, it shows up in a couple of different ways. Leak detection for our supply side is really overseen by our water operations staff. They go out and conduct leak detection surveys, find, locate leaks, and then schedule to repair them.
So we have a fairly large water utility here in Bend, and when you have a lot of pipes in the ground, you can have a lot of leaks, and people can have leaks in the pipes, even in their yards and around their homes. So we're spending a lot of time trying to detect those leaks and save water.
Initially, when we arrive on scene to a suspected area, what we'll do is use one of three devices that we have. And this particular one is a ground mic. We would access the water main through the fire hydrant initially and listen for any leak detection sounds. And then Scott would take that ground mic and follow along the top of the water mains in order to eliminate them from any possible leaks. Once that's completed, then we would access the water main through a valve buried in the street with that ground mic. If there's any leak detection noise that we find, then we would use a correlation device and try to find that leak noise. And then as the machine tells us where we need to be, we would try to get closer and closer and closer to that so we can pinpoint it. And that allows us to make one excavation in the street in the effort to repair the leak.
We're using a lot more water in the summer than we do in the winter months, and we want to help people be as resource efficient as they can be. If somebody chooses to water their lawn, we want to make sure that they're doing it in the most efficient way possible.
Leak detection on the consumer side is much easier because we're actually metering the water flow to the customer. So we have the water meter, a means in which to get that data back to our computerized system, and then the system itself. So with the hourly data, we can see when a consumer's use doesn't have any breaks in hours, because a residence and even most commercial applications will have some periods of time during the day where they do not use any water. That's what we're looking for, is a continuous use 24 hours a day to notify that customer of problems.
Leak detection is important, both supply side and customer side, because water conservation is important to Bendites. We want to keep water bills low. We want to manage this resource sustainably and with stewardship in mind, and fulfill this community value of water conservation.